Hello and welcome to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today we're gonna switch it up. If you ever follow the commentary channels, you're probably familiar with Oompaville. He's right up there with Muda, Penguin Zero, also known as Moist Critical, also known as Charlie. I love watching commentary channels, but I don't think I've ever be one. It's just too dangerous, especially the doxing in that particular community. You do one wrong video and then you're in hot water.
Doxing not only me, but other YouTubers involved. And it's safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, that she has finally gone too far. But as I mentioned, I was indeed doxed by Lily Jean, but not just me, my entire family, because we all know there's nothing more morally correct than dragging innocent people into it.
Anyways, Oompa's got a new channel called KMK2, Call Me Chris 2. She was a really big TikToker that did skits with little hands. I used to love watching those. This is where this load of stories comes from. They got it marked as IATI, but really the subreddit r/confessions. Really interesting stories, and I wanted to put my own take on it. And with that, here we go. I spit my mom's coffee every morning for 10 years. My father cheated on my mother with this girl who was his colleague. As soon as my mother left, she moved into our family home. This woman had no love for me and my sister or for her own daughters. She hardly spoke to us. She insulted us. She went through our things and stole from us. In her eyes, we were nothing. Subhuman beings. She made us eat expired things while she went to restaurants or to a friend's house. With my dad, she made us buy our own shower gels, our own shampoos, our own toothpastes. We had to ask her for toilet paper, even our menstrual products. When my father went away, she starved us. She and my father would make long lists of household chores for us and tell us that our homework can come later, or that we had to get up earlier before going to school to clean up. Every evening we had to prepare their breakfast for the next morning, even have the dose of coffee beans already in the cup. And every morning we got up earlier than them so that our tasks were completed. So every morning for more than 10 years, after pouring hot water into the cup, I'd spit in it. She never knew. Joking aside, she was a nurse. Turns out my dad cheated on her with another colleague and now they're divorced. The mother's downright awful. This whole story gives me Cinderella vibes. The whole dismissing homework sounds like a right out of the playbook of Ruby Frank. And the whole get up early, make breakfast chores sounds like the Duggars. If I was in that situation, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Or if Oompa was a say,
I would have retaliated 5x.
Ended with sweet irony. I drew something NSW at work and left it in the bathroom, using a throwaway for obvious reasons. Basically today at my job as a security guard, I drew something. Usually at work I get bored and start doodling. Well, today I got super bored and began drawing an NSW comic. Yeah, I know this was extremely dumb to be doing at work, but bear with me. I don't want to be too specific on where I work, but basically there are points in the day where I walk around the buildings. So I go to one of the bathrooms and continue drawing these obscene comics. I'm a few panels in, there isn't any actuals, just a dude with a big peepee talking to a girl. Usual NSW scenario. Know what I mean? Then I put it on the toilet so I can pull up my pants up, and then I must have forgotten it was there. I don't usually do this, but I usually pick it up and then I put it in my pocket. TBH, I'm not entirely sure where I left it. Hopefully it was in the bathroom because there's a bunch of cameras in this place. So yeah, I left this comic in the bathroom, and like 10 minutes later, in a place that is off camera, I pull out the drawing, but it isn't that drawing, it's a different one. So naturally, I began panicking and I go back to that bathroom, but somebody else is in the stall, so I just pretend to use the bathroom and leave. I check another bathroom where I might have left it about an hour later, and it isn't there either. I was only at work for another hour after. I left the paper in the bathroom. I didn't hear anything about it. This means somebody found it. Now, depending on who this individual is, they might either A, say WTF and throw it away, or B, say WTF and hand it to security or HR. Depending on the decision, my job could be at stake, because all they have to do is check the camera and see who went into the bathroom before the person who found it. Hopefully I can lie my way out of this if I'm questioned, but if not, I get what I deserve. Probably won't be able to get a job anywhere else ever again. Moral of the story, don't draw a B at work. And if you do, keep track of it. With that said, how effed am I read it? The TLDR of the story is I drew something NSW at work and left it in the bathroom / other location. Update. Well, I didn't hear anything about it at work today. I went the whole day paranoid as AF. LMFAO, but nothing came of it. So whoever found that silly comic threw it away or took it home or just didn't care. Thank you all for the comments, everyone. I think my anxiety just making me assume the worst. You see that last line? Yeah, that right there, that's the one. The human brain is great at making these kind of really worst case scenarios. I'll be like trying to sleep, and then all of a sudden this worst case scenario will just pop into my head, and all of a sudden I just won't be able to sleep anymore. If I found a comment like that, yeah, I probably would have taken it home. I don't think it'd be for something like that. If anything, I would think you were like majorly talented. I intentionally sent a bikini picture to my old boss and pretended it was an accident. I have a confession to make that was being weighing on me. About a year back, I intentionally sent a bikini pic to my old married and boss, but I pretended it was an accident. I cringe every time I think about it. I had no idea that if he saw the picture, he might take an interest in me outside of work, but because I was too afraid to approach him directly, I pretended I tried to send it to FWB and send it to him instead, same name and bracket. He never said anything about it, but I did feel looked at me different after. Am I a bad person? Has anyone else ever done something like this? How did you deal with the aftermath? I don't think you're a bad person. Maybe the guy was a bit clueless, but even then, it was a bikini pic and it might have not thought anything of it. I don't know. I am a chronic litter bug, and I have littered probably over 200 garbage bags. Once a week around 10 p.m., I throw my trash bags into my car, drive to either a random neighborhood or near the river where I dump some of my trash bags into and I litter the trash bags either in the middle of the road or between people's parked automobiles. In the most bizarre places and whenever I'm in a fast food joint such as a Burger King, I litter my garbage on the washing floor or dump it on the side of the road. All of my trash never makes into the proper bin. Okay, look, I get it. We live in a capitalist society. Our entire economy is built upon mass consumerism. That does mean mass waste. We've gone from small items such as forks or knives or something like that would have been one-time use to really big, expensive items that are now one-time use, such as smartphones like iPhones or any electric vehicle. These items not only cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you have to throw them away. You can't fix them. Now, on top of that, where I live, or I used to live, there were really strict, idiotic limits to garbage, which unfortunately punishes us, the user, but never the big manufacturers. Now, I'm not justifying what this guy is doing. There's a big difference. I wouldn't put it all over the floor, but I would use a public garbage can at least. The way this guy's going, it'll be a matter of time before he's caught, because he'll throw something out with his address on and someone's gonna find it and find him. I get when you trash doesn't make it to the proper bin or something like that, because there's no such thing as actually recycling. What they do is pack up all that plastic and recyclables up and shift it to a far off land, and they have to deal with it, which is really sad. But that also means you don't put it in the middle of the road either. Look, I know we're screwed when it comes to the environment and climate change. We're decimating an entire group of people. That's gonna have a major effect on our environment too. But even with that in mind, there's the right way and then the wrong way of doing something. Hopefully that guy becomes a little bit more smarter about it. What's your opinion on the subject? Anyway, stay toasty!